How we doing, guys? You're back with another episode of the collab with Coach Lay and Coach Just. You already know I'm repping my JB Force Fitness, and over there we have our Magic Strength Training, Athletic Training captain for this
What's
evening.
up? What's up, everybody?
So today we're going to be hitting you guys with some dietary information as well as some strength training information for weight loss. Yes. This is a crucial task that everyone is trying to perform on a daily basis, hourly basis, a minute basis, second basis. Everyone is trying to do this every single day. This is the main reason as to why personal trainers, strength trainers, and nutritionists have a job, have a position. I bet some people are talking about the quarantine 15 or the college 15 or college 10 or the couch potato 11 or whatever was created, and they're trying to lose some weight. So we're going to be going over just some basic areas where you can focus your attention on, and basically how to go about losing weight, as well as how to go about training to lose weight or training to maintain your muscle and build that shape that you want. So first, we're going to be starting off with our nutritional slash dietary aspect, because to be honest, that is the most important part of losing weight, correct? Like, isn't that one of the main, like, if there's the meat and potatoes, that's like the prime rib, and then you got the Yukon potatoes, basically, right?
Exactly.
So
Diets are critical. As a trainer, that I always tell my clients, you can't outwork a bad diet. I don't care how many times you're in the gym, how often or frequently you're in the gym working out, or how intense your workouts are. You cannot outwork a bad diet. And diet doesn't mean that it's restricted.
absolutely.
It just means it is how we eat on a daily basis.
Yes, that is I appreciate you defining that, because every time, well, not every time, but that is the overall image of the word diet, and everyone thinks that just because you call it a diet, you have to go on one, but that's not the case at all. Just diet means how you eat. It's
Exactly.
literally the structured way of how you eat, period. Or non-structured way of how you eat, whatever you provide to the table. So that brings me to our dietary aspect, right? So for me, the way I go about teaching my clients, because that I feel like that'll be the best way to implement our lesson for today. Um, I have them take a piece of paper, and I have them section off pieces of paper, right? Um, I have them label it based upon their work schedule or daily schedule. I have them write down a section for dietary or nutritional tips, basic information for their macronutrients. Um, the macronutrients are the staple for losing weight, getting to your goals, making sure that muscle stays on, making sure you don't pass out, making sure you don't puke, making sure you can function for your event, making sure that your metabolism can be optimal and stay optimal.
Time out. So you mean to tell me all of those things are based upon my macronutrients?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, and more, and more, and more.
So time out. What are my macronutrients? Because I take vitamins every day. Aren't my vitamins a macronutrient?
So no, that's not it. That's not it. Um,
So I need you to break it down for our audience. What exactly is a macronutrient?
I'm going to break it down into the big three. The big three. Those are your the carbohydrates, your fats, and then we have the big P, big Papa, protein, husky busky. Right. So I'll normally have my clients write those down, and then I'll have them tell me what they know about them. Now, sometimes my clients will be very, very well versed and educated on these things, and they'll get the basics. And then sometimes they'll have no idea. And the fact that they have no idea means that they are missing a crucial part in getting to whatever goal they're trying to accomplish. So, with that being said, I'll just start with our fats. This is honestly looked at as one of the worst things that you can go about. Everybody says that, oh, I don't want to be fat, so why should I take in some fats or whatever the case is? But then later on down the line, they go, oh my goodness, my knees hurt, my back hurts. I don't know what's going on. I'm not losing any weight. I can't do this. I can't do that. Okay, so your fats, such as your oils, your butters, or sometimes some animal fats, sometimes some veggie fats. Granted, there's a difference between a good fat and a bad fat, but we'll get into that on another segment. Your fats help you maintain integrity of your organs. It maintains integrity of your muscles. It helps you reduce swelling. It helps you to operate your machine. Okay. It sets up a brace, and it also allows for different things to go in and out of your muscles. Okay. A lot of vitamins or a lot of medicine is fat soluble, meaning that it goes through your fats, making sure, well, when your fats are running at an optimal level, goes through those fats and it gets into your bloodstream, gets into your body, right? However, obviously, there's always going to be some moderation in what we're going to be telling you today. So we don't want to have too many of these fats. However, fats are optimal in you achieving your goal. They also take the longest to break down out of these three macronutrients. So that's why people try to use them as their fuel source. If you're not running out of fuel because the fats take forever to break down, then you're not going to have to eat as much. That means you'll get into the deficit. Stay tuned for the deficit. Stay tuned. So after our fats, then we have our carbohydrates. Now, the way I tell my clients is that our carbohydrates are used for high intensity energy, right? So when we're lifting weights or where we're jogging at a high intensity for a mile, or we're going as far as we've ever gone before, or even at a moderate to high rate or distance or whatever, we're going to be using those we're going to be using those carbs. Okay. These carbs provide us with that energy, that quick burst, and it provides us with that jolt, all right, to get going. However, that's not the only thing, right? Your fiber is also embedded in these carbs, okay? Which means that if you're having these carbs or the correct carbs, then you're making sure that whatever gook is in there is also coming out. You're making sure that we're not as hungry as we should be, or sorry, as hungry as you once were when you didn't know how to eat. That fiber is holding you down, making sure that you are functioning up here as well as in this area right here. All right. We're not trying to give you the bubble guts, but we are trying to make sure that this is moving and making the moves that we need to making the moves that we needed to make. Man, I sound like a whole rapper just now. I could have sold those bars for at least $10.
6 bars.
Bars, right? So after we have these carbs, right, then we have Big Papa, Big Protein, the monster of all Mecca. So normally I say, what do you know what proteins do? And they'll go, oh, chicken. That's right. Chicken has protein in it, but that's not what it does. That's not what it does at all. Okay. When we eat the correct amount of protein, or when we eat protein, okay, it endorses healthy recovery. It endorses muscle making. It endorses high metabolism or metabolism maintenance. What does that mean, Justice? Metabolism maintenance. I don't get that. Your proteins once they're getting broken down, your body's like, ooh, we got proteins to break down. We got to work real hard to break these down. So they go, time to heat up, time to heat up. Let's say it, break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down. When that's happening, your metabolism is going up. Your metabolism is the amount of effort that your body is putting out to burn off whatever it needs to burn off so your body can use it. That's your metabolism. So everybody's like, oh, I have a fast metabolism or I have a slow metabolism. Well, if you're trying to lose weight, we need to make sure that we have a high metabolism. If we have a low metabolism, then it makes it more difficult for us to burn calories and maintain that caloric burning the burning of our calories. So those are our three macronutrients, right? Now, that's just one aspect of our dietary life. The other aspect is, another aspect or a big staple of it is how many calories you consume, right? So if we're trying to get to a certain goal, we want to make sure that we eat enough calories to get to that goal and maintain that goal, okay? Now, I can almost guarantee that the average person does not know how many calories they take in at all. That's safe to say, correct?
Correct.
Right.
I want to say,
So,
I
was
just
that
eat. I just eat. Now, who's counting calories?
right? So, if you're just eating and you're not paying attention to your calories and you don't know how to eyeball or you don't know the knowledge of your calories, then if so facto, all of these numbers are adding up. How are we going to lose weight?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I'm just going to work out.
Right.
I'm
I'm
going to
just
work
gonna work out
out.
until I puke, and then I'm just gonna get rid of all of these numbers. I'm gonna try and get rid of this stomach all in one day, try to wear trash bags and sweat some more, try and do whatever I can.
That sounds
So
about right.
it sounds about right, right? Live that wrestling life for, I don't know, about a year, and then there goes 50 pounds right there. Now, we need to make sure that we're paying attention to our calories. For instance, some people that are trying to lose weight might not eat enough calories. What does that mean, Justice? Clearly they're eating enough calories because they need to lose weight. No, that's not it at all. That's not it at all. They could be eating a small portion of calories and just not going to sleep and burning off those calories. Or they could be living such a sedentary lifestyle that 1,500 calories will literally stay on them and stick. Now, 1,500 calories is really low. However, I'm just using that as an example. So their metabolism is not functioning at a high enough level to get rid of those calories. So, with that being said, they would actually need to increase their amount of calories, or vice versa. If you're trying to drop poundage and you're clearly overeating, then that's when we do the uh, diet or calorie deficit. We want to use you know what? I'm just not going to call it diet anymore. We're just going to call it calorie deficit because confusion is going to happen and I don't want anybody saying yuck. The calorie deficit is one of the most important things for anyone to lose weight. It's literally how much wood you're adding to the fire and trying to maintain that burn throughout. That's it. Okay. Obviously, we need to eat for those macros in the beginning. Of course, we need to make sure we hit those numbers. However, we also need to make sure that we don't overeat. And that's kind of where the creativity comes into play. That's kind of where all of these diets were then created because of these macronutrients versus the calories. And people are trying to mix and match to try and find the best property or the best way of going about losing weight. And this is only two aspects of us getting to our weight loss goal. So we're focusing on these macronutrients while at the same time we're focusing on trying to hit the amount of calories that we need to hit. Now, obviously, based upon your goals, based upon when you're trying to achieve your goals, based upon your activity level, that's going to determine how many calories you need to take in. Obviously, if you're doing 5 miles a day, then you're going to need to take in a lot more calories just to make sure that you're able to do those 5 miles a day and continue that metabolism or keep your metabolism running, and also lose weight, not trying to make yourself pass out. Because if you make yourself pass out, then your body shuts down and you can't burn off any more weight. You can't burn off that excess fat. So outside of those two parts, right? Then we get into our third aspect, the third aspect, all right? And this is where I'll have my people write down what's going on, okay?
What's going on?
Exactly. So I'll ask them, so how much sleep do you get? And they'll say, oh, about like 5 hours. And I'll go, okay. And how, let's try and space out your schedule. And I'll say, so when do you eat breakfast? Or when do you wake up? And then they'll say, oh, about like 8 a.m. And I'll say, all right, so when do you eat breakfast? When I get into the office. When do you get into the office? About 11. Okay. And what do you normally eat? I'll eat like an apple and a yogurt. So you mean to tell me you woke up, you waited 3 hours, and then you ate an apple and some yogurt? I would say roughly around 400 calories. And so when's lunch? I don't know, probably like 2, 3. So now we're going longer between meals. And this honestly will go on until the end of the day, to which I'll also ask them to plan out or try and see when they'll work out. And they'll say, oh, well, I don't necessarily have a proper workout time. And then I don't know when I eat dinner. It's roughly around this time. But this time, the time that they'll give me is mainly 4 to 5 hours away from the last time that they ate, or worse. And that brings me to our third category, which is planning out your day. Planning out your day, which is why I have my people sectioning off that whole 1/3 of the paper to planning out their day properly. First, we attack the elephant in the room, which is, why aren't you sleeping? Do you know that you burn calories when you sleep? Do you know that you're basically fasting and your body is going through trying to recycle all of the things that you just ate so you can redo whatever it is you need to do again, or so you can get through and build that deficit off of your diet just through sleeping. Just through sleeping.
Like, you tell me I'm burning calories in my sleep?
Burning calories in your sleep. Burning calories in your sleep.
Without ways to burn calories?
What's that?
I don't have to burn calories. I don't have to go work out to burn calories?
Oh, no, that's the thing. But if you aren't going to sleep, then you have to literally focus just on your workout, as opposed to saying, okay, well, I got to cover it through sleep, I got to cover it through food, and I got to cover it through workouts. Three of them things. But honestly, some people don't even sleep enough. So then they're missing out on that aspect of, okay, well, if I burn, let's say if I burn 100 calories an hour when I'm by myself, just easy math, right? Well, if I'm burning 100 calories by myself and I'm sleeping for 8 hours, I just burn 800 calories. 800 calories. Now, if we look at the average person's smartwatch when they're doing a workout, they're only going to burn maybe close to 500 calories, and that's a lot.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me we're burning more calories in our sleep than we are when we're working out?
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right, right? So then, all the while we're planning out this schedule, and then we go to when do you eat? And now this can get a little dicey depending on what dietary plan you decide to go into, and depending on some researchers and some plans nutritionists have, and your daily lifestyle, right? But whatever you decide to do, everyone is going to still need to focus on the same principle, which is their nutrient timing, not necessarily timing when you get in what you get in, but making sure you get it in at a certain time. So like, we're not going to focus on oh well, I'm going to do all of my fats here, all of my protein here, all of my carbs here. We're going to make sure that we're getting in a well rounded meal at a certain period of time, and then making sure our body adheres to that certain period of time, because we're creatures of habit. So once we start getting it in, then our body's going to start craving it. And then if our body starts craving it, then it starts getting pissed off. And then if our body starts getting pissed off, then our metabolism goes up because we're getting heated.
So I want to make sure I understood you correctly and that I heard you correctly, because I think you just gave me the secret to me making sure that I eat correctly. And that is that I'm not loading up on any one of my macros during a specific meal.
Nope.
So I'm not having all my protein right after a workout or right before a workout, but I'm having a well-balanced meal with every meal that I eat.
What they say in the country, all the fixins. All the fixins.
Gotcha.
All the fixins. And honestly, we're missing out on the greens too, because we can't forget about the greens. The greens have our vitamins just to make sure that we can function. The greens have all of our calcium just to make sure our bones work, to make sure that we can access some of that energy. The greens have that fiber so we can go boo-boo and get rid of all that waste.
Gotcha.
So with that being said, if we're having a well-rounded meal and you're hitting your proteins and you're building that muscle or recovering from the workout, you're hitting those carbs so you can make sure that your body is still going, to make sure that it's excited to be where you're at and stay excited. And you're hitting the right amount of fats. That way you can help that recovery. You can make sure that your vitamins are being absorbed into your body, that your hormones are being absorbed into your body and functioning properly. So if we're doing all of that and going to sleep before we even touch a workout, we're going to be body in this diet, body in this calorie deficit and all. So now I'll go through just those two or just those portions, and my clients would be like, man, I got to reevaluate my life. I have to reevaluate my life. I really do. And I'm like,
whole life.
And I'll be like, well, to be honest with you, everyone has to reevaluate or constantly assess what's going on. Because if you don't and you become complacent, then most likely you're going to be missing out on something, because we live in an ever-changing world. As far as me and Coach Lay over here, our field is ever-changing. There's new research information all the time, which is why some people like to fast in between or fast throughout the day just to get that extra calorie deficit or get that extra burning sensation. Not burning sensation, but you know what I mean, metabolism burn. And there's some people that want to splice up their meals and eat and eat a mini meal here, a mini meal here, a mini meal here, maybe not even going 2 hours throughout, right? So that brings me to my next section, which will be the tip section of our three-part page, right? So in this tip portion, I will normally give my clients some tricks, tips, things to focus on, right? So that's anywhere from the amount of water that I think that they should drink, or us focusing on the amount of water that they should drink, or the timing in their meals. Like, for instance, how long do you think you should eat between a meal? Well, if you space out your day properly, and depending on how many snacks you'd like to have, that'll determine how many meals we can have. That'll determine what time you wake up. That'll determine what time you go to bed. Like, for instance, I'll tell my clients, don't go more than 3 hours without having either a snack or a meal. So let's say if I wake up at 8 o'clock, then I have breakfast 8:30, right? There goes my metabolism as soon as I woke up. I had time to get in the shower, do my hair, you know how I do my hair, and we start our day. So now from that 8:30, 3 hours go by, so that's 11:30. 11:30 should be bringing you towards the original lunchtime. So then we have our next meal. Then, oh my goodness, I'm starting to get hungry because my day is almost over, but I'm starting to lose energy. Cool, throw a snack in there. So we throw a snack in there, probably like 2 o'clock. Okay, 2 o'clock, we had our snack. Oh snap, my day is almost over, but I got to do a workout. I'm going to be doing my workout probably like after I get off of work. So I normally get out of work. Well, if it's 9 to 5, so 8, 5. What time did I go to work? We'll go 9 to 5. Try to get out at 5. I just had a meal at 2, or sorry, a snack at 2. So now 3 hours, you're eating as soon as you get off of work. And then as soon as you get off of work, most likely we're going to the gym. So now we have that fuel for the gym. So then we're going to be working out for probably like an hour to 2 hours, depending on what workout we're doing and depending on if we're working out with Coach Layer or not. Then it's dinner time. Then we eat dinner right after we get out of the gym. And then all of a sudden it's around 8 or 9 o'clock. And by that time, we shouldn't be eating anything. And I just chopped it up. We had 2 snacks. We had 3 meals. We made it throughout our day. And now we have an eating plan. Now we have an eating schedule. That's crazy. And I'll actually have my clients write that down. Write down no more than 3 hours in between meals or snacks. I'll have them write down not to eat after 8 or 9 o'clock. That way your body has time to run your metabolism, run through everything. And then that's how we get the money. And then also I'll tell them to focus on other thermogenic, or sorry, excuse me, other thermogenic properties or other thermo properties, other properties to heat up your body, right? So this will include eating some spicy foods. This will include us doing certain types of workouts. This will include making sure that we get to those fibers that I spoke about, right? Now, if we're adding all of these extras on, all of these boosters on, there's no way that we can't be as prepared as possible or make a conscious effort to get to what these goals are, right? Now, that's going to bring us to our workout portion.
So I want to say, Justyce, Coach Justyce, you did a phenomenal job. You did a phenomenal job breaking that all down. But I just want to touch on a couple of things you spoke of, and we'll get to the workout on another podcast because there was so much meat there. But you talked about creating a caloric deficit. There is a lot of controversy in weight loss. I'd like to say I have a very emphatic, matter-of-fact way of saying that you can lose weight. And that there is only one way to lose weight. Point blank period. I don't care if you call it a keto diet. I don't care if you call it an Atkins diet. I don't care if you call it a water diet or whatever you call it. There's only one way to lose weight.
Tell them.
And that is what? To create a caloric deficit. so that you are burning more calories than you're
Tell them.
actually taking in.
Tell them.
Is it are there other ways of losing weight besides creating a caloric deficit?
I don't believe so. I don't think so.
What happens
Calories in versus calories out.
if we don't create that caloric deficit?
I'm pretty sure if we don't lose anything or can't get rid of anything, then we stay the same.
Stay the same or increase?
Exactly. Stay the same
Gotcha.
or increase.
Gotcha. And also you spoke on another thing, and that was the importance of our metabolism. And we'll go into our workouts in another section or another session. But one of the things that I do want to emphasize is that you spoke on two different things that I want to really hone in on, and that is your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. So hypothetically, we got a person whose BMR is, we'll say, 1,800 calories.
Yep.
What does that mean? Basal metabolic rate means that these are the calories that your body burns just to function.
Just chilling.
Please understand, guys, that just for you to breathe, just for you to utilize the bathroom, just for you to speak, open your eyes, all of those things are burning calories. So in this case, you need 1,800 calories just to be alive. That's what your body needs just to function. So if you wake up and lay in bed all day and your BMR is 1,800, just to lay in bed, your body is going to burn 1,800 calories.
Oh man,
but
that's crazy.
Correct. But what I like to say is that your BMI or BMR, excuse me, you can change that through your workouts. You can increase and decrease your BMR through your diet and workouts. So one of the things that you spoke of was how many calories you burn. But when we're looking to lose weight, we're looking to ramp up our metabolism, our BMR. We're looking to ramp that up so that we are able to actually burn even more calories to help us take that weight off. Would you agree with that?
That sounds like a plan to me.
That sounds like a plan to you? So I just want to stress the importance, guys, that everything that Justyce said was right on point. And I love the way you broke that down so simply for your clients and our audience. And do you have anything else that you would like to add to that tonight?
The reason why I break it down that way is I try to make it as simple as possible. Granted, I was able to talk about it for a long time. It's literally the keep it simple, stupid, the KISS method, right?
Gotcha.
Doing this doesn't put a lot of stress on, or shouldn't put a lot of stress on you. Doing this should just be steps of planning, right? Now, obviously, it is going to be a little stressful, but we don't want it to overtake us. We don't want it to affect us emotionally to the point where we give up on it. We want to do it in spurts, strategically, and we want to make sure that we can apply it. Because after all this planning, implementation is a thing, application is a thing, and that's where we separate the regular people from the legends. So once we're able to keep it simple, then we can implement it. Period.
I love the KISS. I love the KISS acronym, keeping it simple, stupid. What I would also like to add to that is that even in our keeping it simple, there is some nuances to that. because a lot of times we don't understand portion control. So we understand that we're eating our healthy foods, our healthy fats, our proteins, our carbs, but sometimes we don't understand how much we're eating them, especially in our society where if you go out to eat, those portions that they're giving you on those plates are like 2-3 times, a normal portion. So I know like with my clients, I do ask that they try to track their foods,
Bingo.
whether it be through MyFitnessPal or another app, because it's really important to like really measure that out. Because when you have the excess of those macronutrients, some of those macronutrients will be stored as fat. So you're actually working or hustling backwards. And when we start to deal with our micronutrients, our vitamins and things of that, because those things are fat soluble, as Justice talked about, meaning that those supplements or those vitamins are going to be stored in the actual fat cells themselves. Because they're being stored in the fat cells, the body does secrete them at a lot slower rate, which means that they can build up in the body and become toxic. So two of the things that, again, we didn't really speak on tonight, but we will touch on them. Or if you have questions, please make sure to post a comment down below, is the difference between a water-soluble vitamin and a fat-soluble vitamin. And the difference is that one is delivered through water, which means that it excretes through the body much more readily. And because it is secreted through the body through water, the rate of toxicity is a lot lower. But when we start talking about those micronutrients that are fat soluble and storing in the actual fat cells themselves, you do definitely increase the risk of toxicity and having adverse effects from having too much of them. So with that being said, I just want to say, Coach Justice, you did a phenomenal job tonight. I love the information that you provided. And if individuals want to know more about this information that you provided tonight, where can they find you at on Instagram?
On Instagram, I believe my Instagram handle is